I'm Jodie May from A Handmade Cottage, and today I'm going to show you how to make a really easy flower arrangement. Flower arranging it's proved invaluable for me. I couldn't do it, and I found myself in many situations where I could really have done with an arrangement. Weddings, to take to a funeral, for a wedding anniversary, to give to someone, an older person perhaps who you don't really know what to get them. They love a flower arrangement. But they're expensive to buy. They're about £25 to £30, aren't they? So now I'm not just in the florist, they do a fabulous job, but if you don't have the money, it's very easy to do yourself. Now this arrangement set me back all of £7.50 because these I bought from the florist and this I got from Doggy Walk. You can find foliage all over the place, hedgerows, in your local park. Come summer, if you've got flowers in the garden, you may not even need to go to a florist. You could just get it all from the garden straight into your Oasis. Okay, so this is Oasis. Get this from the florist, about 50p. You buy it like this, you'll get a big block of it. All you need to do, throw that into some water. Don't push it down, just drop it into a saucepan of water and leave it. Just let it soak it up. If you push it, it may not all get wet. Anyway, so. Okay, first things first, container. Now you can make a flower arrangement in anything. You could put it in a basket, lovely, Easter. You could do it in a little bowl. You could do it in a plant pot. You could stick it in anything. You could be really adventurous. Okay, for today I'm just going to do a really basic arrangement to show you. And I'm going to stick a candle in the middle of it because it gives it a focal point. Now this is similar to the one I did at Christmas, which quite a few of you asked how I did, so here we go. Now, flowers. Let's keep it simple. So what I like to do is use two different kinds of foliage. Foliage is basically your green stuff. Now let's move this over to here. Get rid of these. Keep it simple. The time spent with flower arrangement, I mean, it takes 2 minutes to grab things from the garden or the hedgerows. The time, it's in the preparation really, but you get quick at that. Alright, so foliage, let's today just use these two. So this I got from the garden. I hope it's going to be okay because it's a low growing bush, and Ralphie, it may be his wee bush, but I think it's going to be fine. I think it smells fine. Okay, so two types of foliage. I think they'll go well together. Different shades of green. It's nice. Now, picking your foliage, try and get bushy stuff, because if you just go and get loads of foliage that's just like this, you're just going to have to do loads of it, and you want to, you don't want it to be here all day. So that's what I'm going to use as foliage today. Then I want the focal flower, these roses, which I got from, I'm sure they're roses. Like I said, I'm no florist. I got from the florist. They were, I think, £4.50. And filler. Let's get rid of that. I may use that. This is called what florists call filler. It's basically to fill in the gaps. It's a pretty bushy flower. So how we're going to start is, let's just begin. So your foliage, use your chunkiest stuff first. Secateurs. You need secateurs or good scissors. Okay, so to prepare, you want to strip your leaves and then chop at an angle like so. Okay, so you don't want all leafy bits going in. You need to do that. I've already done this to this lot. And again, an easy way to do it would be to just strip down, pull them down, cut, and in you go. Okay? Alright, so start with the heaviest stuff around the bottom. In a minute I'm going to do that little fast forward thing so you don't have to watch me do this for 10 hours. Ah, spider! Okay, you're going to get a lot of that if you get that from the hedgerows. Don't kill them. Also, when you're picking from the hedgerows, be conscientious, as in don't strip one tree bare. I think it's okay to take from nature if you're really, if you don't get greedy, just take the odd branch from the odd tree, the odd sprig from the odd tree, and leave some for the bees and birds. Okay? Alright, so let's go. Now when you're putting your foliage in, basically look at your arrangement. Now we're going to go for a circular shape, so keep that in mind as you're going round. Okay? And go evenly. So cut at an angle and just push in gently. You don't have to stick it all the way in. See, that's sticking out too far. Just push in gently and then just keep going round. Okay? Just keep it nice and even. Okay, and I'm just going to keep going around now. I'm going to keep going around, keeping them evenly spaced. See, I've just done that bottom layer. Okay, now I'm going to go round, put, say, just like a little way up, further angled upwards, and the gaps, and then carry on that way. Always keeping in mind the shape. So I'm not going to stick a massive long piece, top heavy. Yeah, there. It's just common sense. Spaced out, but also it's to look natural, so you don't have to get it dead on, There's the fur. Now I'm going to start filling in some gaps with the second foliage. So here we go. Just stick it in. Don't worry too much about it. Don't be precious. It's just got to be fun. Drop the letter. Thank you. Ralphie, leave it. Poor postman, whenever he puts something through, Ralphie usually managed to just jump up and just take it straight out of his hand. But he knows Ralphie, he's not scared of him. He knows that he's just taking the letter. No, don't eat that. Unless it's a bill. No. That's it. Well, can you see? It's looking really nice and natural. So just keep going round, keep going. It's incredibly therapeutic doing this as well. And it's spring, so I'm doing this for Mother's Day because it's Mother's Day in a few days. But this is a lovely thing to do for your table at Easter. Yeah, I might do a little Easter arrangement in a minute as well, depending on how much, or I might just use these. Because you can use things like, this is what I was going to use, I found these little speckled eggs and they've got holes in the bottom, so I just stuck some wire in, so that'd look nice, sticking out, wouldn't it? Little prop. But you can use anything. Once you do this as well, you'll be able to do it forever. You can do it for Christmas, for birthdays and weddings. I did all my own wedding flowers. I saved an absolute fortune. Like I said, I'm not knocking florists because they earn their money, they do a wonderful job. But I simply did not have it. But I didn't want to have to go without, you know. No one should. So I taught myself and I did a big bouquet, basically using the same kind of technique as this, but just on a larger scale. Don't be afraid of it. Just make sure you get the right blooms. Because, for instance, yesterday I picked some blossom, which is beautiful. But look, it's not going to last long. So you just need to get the right flowers for the job. I used wax flower in my bouquet and in my wedding arrangements. It's a beautiful flower. It's really pretty and it's strong. It lasts for days. So I highly recommend that as a filler. It's kind of like blossom. Maybe I can flash a picture up. Here you go. Wax flower. Isn't it lovely? So I used that in my headdress, in our lapel flowers, in the big arrangement in the bouquets, and it's cheap. It's like baby's breath. This video, no, hang on. I don't want to say asphyxiate. That's the wrong word. You know the one I mean. Gypsophilia. That's it. So yeah, once you can do this, you can do it for anything. Just use seasonal flowers. Go out into the hedgerows, and at the moment, yeah, it's spring, so there's loads of blossom and there's loads of fresh greens which look really pretty. Fresh against white. Okay. Alright, so now I need to stand back and have a look. It's looking a little bit funky. A little bit lopsided, so I just need to fill in some gaps and just trim down some bits. Now you don't want to jam pack it because you need space to put your flowers. I had just the right amount of foliage today. So just look through and just make sure there's no big gaps, but let air run through it as well. So stand back and look at it from time to time. Be careful, you do want to keep it natural though. You don't want it to look like a dome, you know. You want it natural looking. Like it's just growing up out of the ground. So rather than stick everything at equal, the same points, imagine they're just sprouting up. So you might have three flowers there, 3 here, 2 there, whatever. But when it comes to big ones, I'll get to that in a minute, you always want to keep your numbers odd. Having 4 flowers just looks a bit weird, so 5 or 3. I'd say maybe 5 or 3, and it's going to be nice. Okay, so foliage. We're done for now, I'd say. I think. We can tweak as we go though, if we need to. So next, let's get our, I'd say let's get some of these in. And our main flower. Let's get some of these in, then our main flower, then our filler around it. So, now when it comes to your main flower and colours, just hold them together and see what goes. If it's the person, pick their favourite flower. Yellow and purple always go lovely together. Okay, so now I'm going to stick some of these in, but you want them to be seen, so make them various lengths, but let them poke out a little bit. This is so pretty. In fact, I may not do a basket one, I may just let this be the Easter stroke Mother in Sunday one. So this needs to come down a little bit. So, yep, as you will with the foliage, just spread them out. Oh, that's pretty, that'll go nice. Yeah. See? Now look how many sprigs I've got. I've got another 4, so yeah, just distribute evenly. It helps to have a bin liner on hand. Always cut your thorns off and be careful. Okay, let's get this one down there. And yeah, pull off any blooms that aren't looking their best. Especially if it's for your wedding. That was my only concern when it comes to my wedding flowers, was how things were going to last, because I did them 2 days before the wedding. But they did last beautifully. I clearly chose right. It comes to your wedding though, as much as I love doing it, it was a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. For the day before the wedding, we were doing the venue up. But the day before that, maybe even 2 days before that, I was doing the arrangements, and that was probably, that took a whole day. I mean, a whole day, like 11 hours of arranging. But to be fair, I did take on everything. Would I do it again? I think I probably would, yeah. It was lovely to see my own arrangements. A needs must. Save a fortune. I will get round to doing that and showing you how I did that at some point soon. So that looks nice. They're just nuzzled in there. I'm not sure about that one. Let's take that bit off. Put that back in. That's better. Okay. Alright, so they're in. Just give it a little zing of colour. So pretty. Okay, so let's put our main flowers in next, and then I'll fill it around them. Okay, so where are we thinking? We've got 5 flowers. Do we want 5 or do we want 3? I think we could do 5. It's quite a big arrangement. Okay. Alright, so let's just However, going back to the wedding flowers, I did practice. I practiced my bouquet several times, and silly on me, well not silly, I wanted a wildflower looking bouquet. It was absolutely beautiful, I loved it. Oh, I'll do a picture thing, here it is here. Isn't it lovely? All my favourite flowers. But however, doing a wildflower looking bouquet, wasn't actually a wildflower, so I don't know how well they'd last, wasn't easy. For instance, if I'd have picked just roses like this, it's easier to get them in a neat looking dome. When you're doing wildflowers, it's like doing natural makeup. It still takes a lot of work to get them looking natural, and so yeah, it's not as easy as you think. You think it would be, just throw them all together, but no, it's hard. But it was alright, just a little bit of practice, and it went fine. It was really nice. However, if you want to do your own flowers, but you don't want to put too much stress on yourself, then I'd maybe go for all of one flower, or just a few flowers, just a few choice flowers, not 10 different varieties. Okay. Oh, it's so pretty! Isn't it pretty? And it's just so easy to do. Now, if you went and gave that to someone as a gift, there you go. How much would that cost you to make, to buy even? You'd be looking at £25–30. But doing it yourself, the foliage is all out there for the taking. If you need to save money, then it's there. It just takes a little bit of time, but it's such a lovely thing to do. Right, okay, so now a bit of filler. Woo! Let's just... Sorry, can you hear my washing machine in the background? It's Monday, it's washing day. Boo! Right, let's just stick it in there. Where's my neighbour stop drilling now? Okay. Now I just want to try and get them in there with the rose as well, so it picks up that colour. That's just so pretty. These are lovely wedding flowers. Oh, it's so nice. Can you see? Look. Can you see how pretty that is? Oh, lovely. What mummy, granny, grandpa wouldn't like that? Okay. Come and say hello to the people. Here's Mr. Alfie Christmas. Hello. Who's that? It's not the postman. Okay, go on. Hello, goodbye. Off you go. Right, as we were, filler. When you're doing your arrangement, don't forget, I've said it before, I'll say it again, don't forget to have uneven lengths sticking out. If you have it all at the same, you know, what's the word? Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, you want it at various. What's the word I'm looking for? Ralphie? Depth? Depth. Right, okay. I think that's going to do it for the purple filler. Now, baby's breath, Gypsophilia, is a fantastic filler. It just, because it fills, look, fills space. Now, have a nice close-up. Hubby's not here to help me with the camera today, so I'm just going to do this. Is that good? Can you see that? It's really pretty, isn't it? Look. It's wing. Now I'd be tempted actually to not even put any Gypsophilia in. I don't know if it needs it. I'd be tempted to just stick some eggs in. The other thing I picked up, which is just so lovely, are these. I don't know the word for them, it's terrible. I want to learn my trees this year. Let's call them fuzzy wuzzies. See, they look quite nice, but I don't know, I think it might be too much. Another thing I picked up, which I love, is lichen covered twigs. Isn't that lovely? That probably doesn't look lovely to you actually, that probably looks like a witch's finger, but to me that's gorgeous because look, it just looks so pretty against contrasting like lovely flowers. It's all oldie worldy and all lovely and antique. But again, I think that might be too much. Let's just try a few sprigs of this and see what we think. Nothing sacred. The other thing about Gypsophilia is that it's cheap. And because it fills, I mean that sprig that I got there was I think $1.50 and it covers a huge amount of space. So it's a good filler in that sense. Yeah, I think maybe just a couple of sprigs of Gypsophilia. What did I call it earlier? Asphyxiation. Not the best word to get wrong. Okay. Hey, hello again. Well, I had to finish that without you. I ran out of battery. So here is the finished flower arrangement. I just added a little bit of baby's breath, and then I poked in the speckled eggs. Whoop, come off the wire. There's a couple of things I just wanted to add to remind you of, and that is when you're doing your filler, really poke it down, and when you're filling your gaps, get it right in there. So then not only is it multi-layered in its bits sticking out more than others, but it's got some depth. You can see filler right down the in the core of it. And the other thing I was going to say is, yeah, when you're I just threw this one together. I only had a little bit left, so I just made this little arrangement. When you're putting your flowers in, look at your flower and see what it's doing, see what it wants to do. So this one is kind of wilting a little bit that way. So I'd put that one. Oh, I lost some Secateurs. So put that one perhaps here, so it can actually bend over. I did Ikebana course once, which is Japanese flower arranging, and we were really taught how to look at a flower. It's very different from this kind of flower arranging. It's very like 3 stems, and it's all about looking at the flower and seeing what the flower wants to do. So if it's hanging this way, put it in a place where it's going to be at its best, rather than, you know, look at its best angle, if you like. Okay, that's it, I think. So yeah, there we go. 2 flower arrangements out of £7, £7.50 even, and just a little bit of time. So good luck, enjoy. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.